The winning political issue for the Trump campaign. Let's discuss it now with our political analyst, Brian Sobel. And Brian, the Trump campaign really desperate to latch on to an issue in the final 2 weeks of the election. Is Obamacare that issue?
No, it's at this point a couple of weeks out, so late in the game that one issue isn't going to flip the election. Trump's job is to try to keep the pressure on the Clinton campaign, and Obamacare is one issue, and certainly 22 to 25% increases in premiums is a story, but probably not one that'll change the outcome of the presidential election.
And it seems like if Trump was going to use that, he sort of flubbed the attack today, right? You just heard him there.
Yeah. Well, when most of your employees aren't involved with Obamacare and you're making a pitch about it being not a good program, it's inconsistent, which, is the Trump story in this whole election, just kind of shooting off, sometimes without facts.
Okay, let's also talk today more hacked emails from the Clinton campaign. But again, they issued a response, not really talking about what was in the emails, but again, how those emails were obtained.
I think this is where the Trump campaign has really not nailed down the story. They keep letting the Clinton campaign off the hook by allowing the Clinton campaign to say, well, we can't even tell you whether they're true because they were stolen, instead of somebody pinning them down and saying, did you say that? And getting them on the record. And if they say no, or they try to pivot or evade, you got to go back at it.
So several polls now suggesting that this is in fact Clinton's race to lose. And we're seeing a little bit of a shift there on the campaign with Clinton, President Obama, even former President Bill Clinton, really talking about the down ballot races. How do you feel like this presidential race is going to impact the overall election, especially for those down ballot races?
Well, under normal circumstances, if say a Republican candidate were to be swamped in the election, that would have a lot of down ticket effects. This election is a little bit different because Trump certainly is not in concert with many Republicans or the Republican Party. That's what makes this different. So I don't know that there's going to be huge losses down ticket, but obviously the Democrats are operating on the theory and with data that the presidential race may be over, so they're out there now concentrating on Senate races, House races. That's the difference.
Yeah, but do you think that that then is maybe a little too overconfident? Do you think that that could backfire on Democrats?
Well, I've watched polling for many, many years, and if it's done right, it's fairly precise. Not fairly precise, very precise. So I think they have a pretty good idea of what's going on out there. Sure, a story could change it. Today it may be Obamacare, tomorrow more emails, whatever, but it can't probably turn it at the numbers that it needs to be turned by to change the outcome of the election.
So you believe that it's okay to kind of maybe shift the focus away from Donald Trump himself and instead go after Republicans that are challenging Democrats lower down on the ticket?
I do, and not only shift the focus at the top level, but shift some of the resources and money to try to give the new president some support in the Senate and House to the level where they can actually get legislation passed. That's hugely important.
All right, Brian Sobel, thanks so much.
Yes,
as
absolutely.
always, great talking with you.